All right, let's ship. Let's do this. Yeah, like I said, nothing sold for like a spectacular amount of money, but I'm just trying to get everything. Which I am moving in like slow motion. I need to like pick it up. Oh, I don't want to get sick. I can't afford to get sick right now. There's too much to do. Um, yeah, just trying to like I wanted to get my store moving and when you do that, kind of accept that things are gonna sell like especially if you're trying to bring your store back from the dead. You're gonna just kind of accept that yeah, things are gonna sell for a little bit less than you want, and that's fine. So I'm just putting my original shipping in these poly bags. I have my shipping scale over there and I have my like poly mailers over there. So I'm gonna just wrap them up, toss them over on my desk so that I can move over to my computer and and then just finish my shipping. So let's see how much time. I think this is gonna take me like 20 minutes. I'm really gonna try. So yeah, so what things that count when you are having an active eBay store is responding to offers and buyer messages as quickly as possible. That's something that you have to just they do have like their algorithm checks that. So even if you get like an annoying message from a buyer or something that's not even relevant, it is important that you reply in some fashion as quickly as you can, because eBay counts that. That counts in their algorithm as like oh, this is a responsive seller. This is a seller who replies. This is a seller who will be quick and they'll push your items to the top of search more likely if you do that. So kind of just be aware of that. I'm not always the best at that. Same with like offers. It is now one thing I don't always do is it is technically better to counter offers than it is to just decline them. But I kind of have a rule for myself that if the offer is 50% of my asking price, you know, when it comes to this is like even after I've sent offers and I have a sale going, some people still send offers that are like 50% of that. And what I do is I decline those. And so even if if I've just listed an item and if we're at 50% of my asking price or lower, or like, or even more of a discount that they're wanting, that's an auto decline for me. I just do not, I just don't want to bother with it. Which I don't know, it's up to you how you want to respond. A lot of people are just more patient than me. I think I've been doing this for a long time and maybe it's just the nature of like my YouTube channel, my business, that I tend to get a lot of very low ball offers and they could just be trolls who are, wanting to mess with me, which is fine. It comes with the territory and it's all good. So I do auto decline a few offers, but for the most part, if I know mentally, like, okay, I'm really trying to bring sales back, then I will accept most offers. Not the 50% off, but I will accept most offers. And I do have offers on, and I know a lot of sellers who don't. If you've had success with not having offers on, let me know, because that is, that's pretty exciting. If you can not do offers and just have stuff sell at your full asking price, that's very cool. I've always had offers on because for me, it's a way to gauge, like, I don't always know exactly what the value of something is that I have in my store. And I feel like offers are the equalizer in showing like what kind of demand there is for that item. Like they kind of show me, oh, okay, if this item hasn't sold in a month or two and I'm mostly getting offers around this amount, that probably tells me that that amount is about what it should sell for. So, and it also is a way to just keep items moving. And what's interesting is the more you have offers and sales, and yeah, you're going to get some lower dollar value sales, you'll actually pull in when those lower items are selling, you'll pull in more just regular, full price sales because the stuff that you're listing and the stuff in your store is moving up in the search. And you'll kind of, it's like these sacrificial sales that you have in your store that bring in those full dollar sales, which isn't uncommon. Another thing that I do in my store is I do have returns. I have 30-day returns. I have no problem with 60-day returns. I should probably do that. But I have 30-day returns and I pay shipping. You know, I have full value returns, and I think that has to do with just me. I really want to have a very generous return policy because there's a reason that places like Costco are so popular, and so their return policy is very generous. Um, it does help with item not as described returns because people will say item not as described just to get the automatic free shipping back. But if you already offer it, they can be a little less inclined to do that because you're like, oh, I already offer, I'm gonna need bigger bags for that one. I already offer free shipping back, so you don't even have to worry about it. And you don't have to lie about it. So yeah, so that does help with that. And I also just want to be, you know, I have the privilege of making money on social media, and so I don't mind paying shipping back because I have other sources of income and other streams of income that help supplement that. And so if it means I can offer a really generous return policy to all of my customers, to viewers who buy, then I want that for you guys because I think it's fair and I think it's, you know, but if this was my only stream of income, I'd probably be a little less uh just kind of not reckless, but like a little less inclined to just give free shipping for every single return back because that is coming out of my pocket, right? Like the buyer pays their original shipping and then I give a full refund of all their shipping plus the shipping back. So I'm actually losing a few dollars every time I do that, but I can afford that because social media has been such a great income supplementer. So that's just my 2 cents about that. One thing too is like I was at the bins the other day and a very nice gentleman came up and just without even like any introductions was just like, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sure." And he's like, "Do you make more money off of social media or eBay?" And I'm like, "Oh, social media at this point. At this point, it's social media. Yeah, it wasn't always that way by a long shot. But it's definitely because I've just been, oh my gosh, it's grown more than I ever thought it would ever grow. And yeah, social media makes very good income um, if you could build it up to that point, which I just was lucky. I've just been so lucky. I don't even know. There's so many others who do a much better job than me. And that's something I've always wanted to tell you guys and preach to you guys. I share what I do and I share what I make because I want you to do it better because you can do it better because I'm not even doing that good of a job. I am using the last 2 brain cells that I have in my head after having 3 children, and they are the cutest and the best, but they also, you know, my brain doesn't work anymore. Um, to just, I'm using the last 2 brain cells I have to strategize and to make my business better and to find cool stuff and to show you guys. But if you have all of your working brain cells, you could do an amazing job and you could do this too. There is no reason that anyone can't do this. And just sell on eBay and share their journey and be much more engaging, much more interesting than I am. Certainly, that is not a far cry. So that's why I share that the opportunities are very cool. And that was my whole goal from the beginning is, you know, I kind of foresaw this period in my life where I wouldn't necessarily like be as needed as a mom. And I didn't know that I wanted to go back to being a school counselor. So I was like, well, let me invent a job for myself. Maybe I can do that. And sure enough, like it has worked out where I did invent a job for myself. And this is what I do. And I do make money from it. And I don't have to work for anyone else. So all that to say, you could do it too. 100% you could do it too. I am a one-woman show. And I think it would surprise people too to know that like I really don't get most of my sales from social media. I get you know a few, like a good percentage, probably I would say at this point like 15 to 20% of my sales come from social media viewers, which is great, right? But it also comes with like drawbacks of sharing your store, and I'll tell you guys why. And I'm not complaining. I'm very blessed and I love my life and I love my eBay store. But when you share your eBay store with people and you have the link out there for people to like click on, they'll click on it and they'll look at it. There's a much higher likelihood that people will click on the link in my store and just look and not buy anything. And so what that does is my click-through rate is like really bad. It's no one's fault. Oh my gosh, look all you want. Honestly, snoop on my store, look all you want. It does not bother me, but it does affect the algorithm, and it does, and not in a good way. It definitely hurts the algorithm because eBay wants to see that people are going to your store and buying, because that means you have good prices, you have good items. If they see a lot of people going to your store and not buying and just looking, then that can hurt the algorithm as well. So just keep that in mind. There's definitely benefits, but there's also drawbacks, just like with anything. So, okay, we've bagged all these up. Let's move over to my computer. Let's see. How I've been filming, it took me 12 minutes. That took me too long. I have been going slow. I am going through molasses this morning, and I probably shouldn't even be talking, but I am because I feel like it and I can do what I want. Alrighty, here we are. Okay, I'm gonna be done quickly. I'm telling myself this. Technically, I ship every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That way, I don't have to go to the post office or to the storage unit every single day. Yeah, so a lot of these, what's nice too, honestly, is it does give me a buffer for like days I'm really, really sick or like genuinely, like right now I'm like not feeling great, but I can still get up and get out. But you know, some days I can't, and that's okay. So because I can miss a day because I have that 2-day buffer, which is nice. So I don't know. And it also helps with like late shipping. I don't have as much late shipping because I have that, like sometimes package pickup doesn't come. Rarely. Oh, but it is really frustrating when they don't come because I'm like, I really needed that. But when it happens, it is okay because like I have that 2-day buffer. Let's keep going. Come on, Ash. We got this. I do bag everything. Even if it's in a box, I put it in a bag and I ship that way. And I've just never had an issue. I've literally never had a single person give me a bad rating or complain or message me in any way because of the fact that I sent their shoes or their item in a poly mailer. Never once. So just keep that in mind. Like, and I've sold 10,000 plus items. So just keep that in mind when you're like, oh, I don't know, you can do it. I just wouldn't worry about it because it's just not happened. I think people appreciate even that. It's just simpler to ship, simpler to open. Keep that in mind. The only time, which is my own fault, the only time I've had an issue with sending something in a bag is because I sent a pretty expensive jacket in a bag. I should have boxed it. I just didn't have a box. And so that was on me. Hello. Okay, this is what I'm shipping. That was on me. I should have just found a box and made it happen. And I didn't. So, but they didn't even give me a bad rating. They gave me a positive review, but it just said, I was surprised that they shipped it in a bag. And I'm like, sorry about that. But I did a really good job. It was very neatly packaged in a bag and actually double bagged it because I wanted to be extra safe. But in that case, I should have boxed it. So I hope that people who have watched my videos in the past are still looking up comps, because things that I have said like, oh, these ship or these sell for, X amount of money, that can change. So I want you to like just be aware that things double check the value of things. You just never know. Like things like Lululemon, for example, has gone down in value because it could be partly because of their buyback program where if you can sell back your items and they'll sell it on their website pre-owned. That happens, or like it'll be like Lululemon like new, and I think that has definitely eaten into some of the competition. Not every company does that. I think Patagonia does that now though, and Arc'teryx does it. A lot of like the outdoor brands do it now. The value of things or what you could get for them on eBay just because it's introducing more competition. So that's going to drive down the price a little bit. just something to keep in mind. But just double check, you know, and other things like Athleta, I used to sell a lot more of, and you know, it's just it still sells fine, but just not for what it used to. I'm very picky with what I pick up with from Athleta and Lululemon. Um, Free People, be really picky with what you're picking up with Free People. I'm shipping Free People Free People movement shorts right now. They sold for 20 bucks and I got these for just a couple bucks. So it was definitely worth it. Free People basics or old Free People just doesn't quite sell for what it used to. So keep that in mind. Okay, I have two things I'm going to ship together. Someone bought two items, and when I do that, all you have to do is select the two, and I just check the boxes of those two. And then I just put shipping, get shipping label, and just show that you can click this combine orders per buyer. And then what happens is it'll just combine it so that you can then combine that shipping. And so that's we love that. We want that. It's just cheaper for us, cheaper for the buyer. And what I do a lot of times, sometimes it doesn't make financial sense to like refund them shipping, but sometimes they do overpay quite a bit. And I do refund that shipping difference, but you don't have to. If the buyer requests it, I will. But sometimes, like right now, this Free People dress sold for $12, and it's a really pretty dress. And I need to calculate that shipping, the extra shipping that they paid, into this total price that they paid, because otherwise, I'm losing money, and I don't want to lose money if I don't have to. So that's just something to keep in mind. Alrighty, we are done. Let's put it on the porch, which I need both hands, so I can't film that. Or let me set it up first. All right, so as you can see, I have so much work to do. I got an amazing haul on Saturday, and I'm really actually excited to like list it, but I think I'm gonna take this last hour I have before crew gets home from preschool. So I'm gonna be indulgent. I'm gonna take a quick break, but I love you guys. I don't know, did this help? Maybe it did. I hope some of this advice resonates, and that if your stores are kind of slow, you can get them back on track, and these tips will help you. So, to recap, make sure you're listing, make sure you send offers, make sure you're responding quickly, make sure you double check the price of your items, the stuff that you're listing. Is it, good stuff, lower prices? Don't be afraid to get stuff moving, and then those high dollar sales will come in. Just a lot of activity. eBay rewards a very active and engaged seller. So all that to say, I hope it helps. Love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.